guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking some more football. Usually we only do this weekly, but there was a couple big news that came out yesterday and some the day before, so we thought that we had to make a video about it before it gets too late and then a change happens. So yeah, I'm here with the team of author. And we're just going to go through these topics. None of them actually have to do with anything on the field. So I'm sorry if you came for previews or predictions or anything like that. I'm sorry. But we have to address this stuff, which is not always the most fun thing to do, but something that we have to get to. So yeah, we're going to be talking about some of this news just came out yesterday and today. The first is the NFL planning to come through with training camp. And as of right now, it looks like training camp is going to start on time, which is surprising, and that exceeded my expectations. Second, this was news 30 minutes ago, that Texans wide receiver Kenny Steele, the felony has been taken off. And then the news that you guys probably came for, well, first, Aldrick Rosas has been officially charged. He has a court date September 4th. And lastly, the biggest news, there is the Redskins, or the former Redskins, the unnamed Washington football team, a bunch of news about them. We're probably not going to go through each and every single one, because some of them might be offensive and things like that, but we're probably just going to, kind of dive into it, give us our thoughts without diving truly into what everything that happened. So yeah, that's a description of everything that we're doing. So I guess we can start off with some good news for Kenny Steele, and the felony has been taken off. This report just came out. It has been confirmed. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that it's very fair. I actually made a video about it, that Kenny Steele should not have been in jail.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description.
Okay, cool. I think it's super fair that the felony charge was taken off. Because, he did nothing wrong. He was standing up for what he believed was right, and he was peacefully protesting. And, it's just very unfair that he got that felony charge in the first place. So, I think it's fair, if he ever tries to get a job again, they'll never see the felony charge, I think, on his records. So, I think that the cops are doing the right thing, or whoever decides.
Yeah, I think this was a great decision. Again, he should not have been arrested, but it's great that he was released. And yeah, the other people, their charges were also dropped. He was just standing up for what he believed in, and he should in no way he should have been arrested. Yeah, so I think this is great for Kenny Steele, but I think it was the right thing to do. I don't think he should have been arrested in the first place, but it's great that he has gotten out. Yeah, and the other people who were involved have also been released. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Right now is the NFL in their latest decision on training camp. Well, not really a decision, just a memo that was sent to the teams. So there's a couple things. We'll dive into each one. First, the NFL team doctors say that it is safe to open training camps, but their concern is in place in COVID hotspots like California, Texas, Arizona, places where cases are going up and there's a rise in cases. So what are your thoughts on the NFL saying that it's okay to open training camps?
Honestly, I don't think that they should open training camps. I think that they should still give it enough time. And I think that there will be a couple of players who won't go because of their health issues. So I think that, in Florida, Jacksonville or Tampa Bay or the Dolphins, I'm not sure if. So, I don't think that they should have opened in the first place. I think that the NFL could have been smarter in that situation. especially with everything we're going through. It doesn't make sense, in my opinion, that they'd open it, especially when you just set a record a couple of days ago in Florida. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the doctor said it's safe, which is very surprising to me. To me, it's like really surprising that in my state of California, in cases like Florida, where cases are going up, that they would allow for that. I mean, football is the hardest sport to social distance. In fact, you cannot social distance. I mean, a lot of sports you can't social distance, but this is probably going to be the hardest and the easiest way to catch COVID because, I mean, you're tackling each other. You're always grabbing onto somebody else. My question is going to be, are teams in California, in Florida, and places like that going to be able to host them in that state? I mean, that'll be interesting. A lot of teams have already cut down their capacity. But the NFL, to me, it just seems like they don't know what they're going to do. The training camp is still set up to open on July 28th, as of today. But the players, like J.J. Watt, he said yesterday that he had no idea what they were going to do. I'll read to you what he said that he knew or he did not know. He said he knows that he wants to play. He knows that he wants to be as safe as possible. They have not received a single plan from any team or the league. He doesn't know if there will be preseason games or not. He doesn't know what the testing will look like. He doesn't know what happens if there's a positive COVID test, how it affect contracts, roster spots, and stuff like that. Nothing has been agreed upon regarding what training camp will actually look like and how the ramp-up period will work. And he wants to play. So, there's not a lot that we can tell you guys. We don't know if training camp's going to start on time. It's looking like they're going to start training camp on time. I would be surprised if they do. I mean, the rookies are set to report, I think, tomorrow, actually, or the next day. I know the Chiefs and the Texans are supposed to report. I don't think it's safe at all. I mean, the NFL has had 72 players test positive. I mean, I don't understand how they can open. I don't think there's a lot of places I don't think training camp is going to be able to start. I mean, it's great for sports fans. I'm not saying that I'm sure I would love training camp to start. I would love for the season to start on time, but I just do not think it is realistic, especially in states like Florida and California. I mean, right now they don't even want players to work out together. I mean, how are you going to have the whole team running drills and you have teams coming from other cities to other states to play preseason games or to do joint camps. So I don't understand how that's going to happen. The NFL doctors, every NFL team's doctor said it was safe, is what we heard. But I don't understand how a doctor can clear that. I mean, they can't even do 4-person workouts. How are you going to do 80 players on the field? I mean, you can social distance them on the sideline, but if you're already having COVID cases without them even practicing, imagine what's going to happen once they start. I mean, the players need answers. I think that the NFL would be fine if they delayed the season, but I mean, they want to play, obviously, but they're not giving the players any answers. They want to know what the testing is going to look like, because I think some players are definitely going to pull out. J.J. Watt, I mean, what he said, he didn't say he was going to directly pull out, but, what he said is very true, and I agree with him on every single one of those statements. I mean, like college football teams, they're doing workouts, and a couple colleges had 40-plus players test positive, which is crazy, and that's not even close to a training camp workout. So keeping NFL players COVID-free is going to depend on less safety measures. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, you're going to have to test every day. Is there going to be testing every day? Is there going to be testing every 2 days? I mean, it's not looking like they're going to be pushed back, in my opinion. But I thought that right now it would be looking more like they're going to push it back. Right now, they haven't said anything that it looks like they're going to push it back. It looks like their training camp starts July 28th in 11 days, and it looks like they're ready to go. But there's roadblocks and questions that the NFL is going to have to answer before you put a season on the field. and before you put players on that field. Because the Chiefs and Texans both told their players that camp is a go. Rookies and quarterbacks are going to report for COVID-19 testing Monday, is what the NFL is saying. But there's no agreement on preseason. There still has not been an answer on that. But the NFL released a statement. I guess I don't really need to read it because the only thing that it says is everything's moving forward as scheduled.
All right.
So yeah. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I think you said it best.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if training camp's gonna be able to start on time, but it's looking like it will. And I think it can in certain places. Like maybe the Chiefs could do it because there hasn't been a lot of cases in Missouri, but there's a lot of places that it's looking like they would not be able to do it based on their current guidelines. In those states' current guidelines. I mean, the NFL isn't allowing players to work out right now, and they want to put 80 players on the field in 10 days or 11 days. So yeah, I think that is it. Our next topic, this like a month or two ago, I think a month ago when this originally happened, Giants kicker Aldrick Rosas has officially been charged. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that he will be able to play for the Giants this season?
I think that the Giants should be smart enough to let him, and I think that Aldrick Rosas should be smart enough to not do what he did. I mean, like, this guy's an NFL player. Doesn't he know the trouble he's going to get into and the consequences that are going to come with it? Now he's going to have to face court. Like, it's just, you'd expect an NFL player to be smarter than that, and you'd expect them to know the consequences that are going to come with it. And, like, you just wouldn't expect him to do something like this. Like, what was he trying to gain out of it? It didn't seem like he was trying to gain anything, so I just don't see why he did it one bit in general, and I really think that it was not a good move on his part.
Yeah, I agree. So here's the 3 misdemeanors that he was charged with in his hit and run in California. Number 1, reckless driving on the highway. Number 2, hit and run / property damage, and then driving with suspended revoked license due to previous DUI. So this isn't the first time. This is the first time that he that he hit somebody. He had a DUI before.
Oh.
So this incident occurred on June 15th. So about a month ago. I mean, he wasn't charged with DUI though. He's not charged with DUI, so I think that he will still be able to kick in week 1, especially if the season is pulled back. But he does have a court date, but he was not charged with the DUI. They're all misdemeanors, no DUI. So I think he will still be able to kick. He is a decent kicker, though. So, but I mean, he made a poor decision, and but if he might still be able to kick. But, you know, the Giants, they're just having problem after problem with these offseason troubles, let alone on the field. So, yeah, he just made a horrible decision. He was officially charged today, but he most likely will be able to kick, which I don't think is right. But, I mean, they didn't charge him with the DUI, which they originally thought that it was, I guess, after the investigation. So, yeah, our last is the biggest topic. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about. I think, yeah, it has pretty much been confirmed by a lot of sources, all of these things. I'll read to you guys some of the things that we know. Here's everything we know about Dan Snyder and the Washington Redskins scandal. We're not going to go too much into it, though. You know, there's stuff about Dan Snyder. There's the biggest thing that the Washington Redskins denies is they paid off the officials, with some refs allegedly having made $2 million off Snyder. I mean, there's stuff with the cheerleaders. You can go and read the Washington Post article. I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff that I won't really.
Oh wait.
But
Okay, sorry. Your voice cut out for me for a second.
but yeah, there's just a ton of stuff. I'll read the Washington Post article is what came out yesterday, and the Washington Post said that they were going to publish the Redskins article, and they finally did post it yesterday. 15 women who worked for the Redskins allege sexual assault, harassment by former scouts and members of owner Dan Snyder's inner circle. So yeah, that is the story. You can go and read the article. It's on the Washington Post. But yeah, you can go ahead and start. What are your thoughts on this?
It's just so messed up on a whole nother level. Like, what Aldrick Rosas did was really messed up. But, like, when this happened, sexual harassment and stuff like that, bro, you just, like, Dan Snyder, he's just a racist and bad person. Just don't think that it's a good franchise that he has in general. At least the Washington, who knows what, at least they're changing their name. But, like, I mean, this guy's an NFL owner. Like I said with Aldrick Rosas, I expect him to be smart. Like, him and his inner circle doing this stuff to cheerleaders, it's not cool. And I think he knows that, but he's just doing it for the pleasure. And he knows it's messed up, probably. But there's just probably something going on in his mind that makes him think that it's okay to do this. And he should be fined big time. He should go to jail maybe for, like, I don't know, because he has all this credibility. He's not going to go to jail probably because of how famous he is. And it's really dumb, but, like, the NFL has to do something about this. They can't just let this slide. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. On Wednesday, they said that there's going to be a huge article in the Washington Post delivered, and they released it. But I mean, this is just horrible for the Redskins. I don't know if all of this is true, but the Washington Post article is for sure true. But you know, this is horrible for the Redskins, or whatever they're going to call themselves. I mean, they changed their name, but people were saying, the Redskins fans, they were saying that people were just going to forget about the name change. That the name change wasn't going to matter, whatever they end up calling themselves, the Warriors, the Red Tails, whatever they're called. And they were right. I mean, this article is so big that, I mean, none of that matters right now. This is just crazy. I mean, stuff that they're alleging and stuff that's probably true is horrible. Dan Snyder, I've always known that there's something bad about him, but, you know, this is horrible. For the Redskins as an organization, I mean, this is horrible. I mean, the Redskins are going to have to make a lot of changes. I mean, Ron Rivera said that they have to make a lot of changes, but I mean, This is huge. I mean, this is horrible. I mean, what they're alleging, I mean, 15 cheerleaders, that is horrible. But, you know, this is probably the worst thing that could have happened to the Redskins. They changed their name, but, you know, with this whole thing, I think people are going to forget about that. And the Redskins, you know, they're just thought of a bad organization.
Yeah.
Their ownership, their team, you know, their team always struggles. But, you know, the stuff that they're alleging is awful. I mean, what they're saying about the head coach. Was it the head coach or Dan Snyder?
I think it was Dan Snyder.
Yeah, I think it was Dan Snyder. But either way, it is horrible. And you know, this is horrible for the Washington Redskins as an organization because they changed their name and people are feeling a little bit better about them. But they've always been considered as a horrible organization for how bad their team is, for how bad their ownership is, and this is going to make them look even worse. So yeah, I think those will wrap up my thoughts pretty much.
But the thing is that now they do have Ron Rivera, and Ron Rivera seems like a smart and educated guy. As you said, he said that.
Yeah, I like Ron Rivera.
Oh yeah.
You know, Ron Rivera's a pretty good coach. He's a pretty well-respected coach. And he's going to have to talk to the ownership and tell them that as he said, that there needs to be changes. he's saying that, but there needs to be changes. There actually need to go and make changes to, I think, the ownership. That needs a lot of changes. But the Redskins, they definitely need to look into this. I mean, the FBI is involved, lawyers are involved. This is crazy. This was similar to what I was expected, though. When they said something like this is definitely what I expected. But the Washington Redskins are going to have to make a lot of the Washington, whatever they need to call it, the unnamed Washington team needs to make a lot of changes. Ron Rivera is a good coach, and I think he can potentially turn that organization around. But this is more about the team on the field. This is about changes that need to come in the front office.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. We'll probably be back, unless there's any other big news. We'll probably be back next Wednesday, July 22nd. Leave suggestions below. Training camp begins Tuesday, July 28th. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.